طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today's hadith is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to take care of the people in admonition and knowledge so as not to run them away. As we know that one of the most difficult things for shaitan is to trick somebody with knowledge. So he says that one scholar is more heavier, more difficult for shaitan to tackle than 1,000 worshippers. And so it's naturally his goal is to make sure that somebody doesn't become knowledgeable. Because he knows that if he becomes knowledgeable, my job just became much harder. So might as well, cut off the booze by him not having proper knowledge so I can make sure that he doesn't become a challenge for me. And so shaitan will come in so many different ways to stop people from gaining knowledge. But that's why a teacher, like the Prophet ﷺ, he used to, take care of the people because he doesn't want to help shaitan by driving the people away. The Prophet ﷺ used to take care of us in preaching by selecting suitable time. He used to say, that's why for me I always like to have like a poll or like something to ask the people, okay, what time is good for you guys? So this way they choose their timing and everything. And he abstained from pestering us with sermons and knowledge all the time. Today there's a lot of lectures. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of preaching. But there's very little action, right? The Prophet ﷺ, if you combine all his lectures and sermons and everything, it's very, very minimal amount. Yet it had a very significant amount of influence and impact because he chose the right topic for the right people for the right time. So that's extremely important when it comes to spreading knowledge. Inshallah. With this said, we will go to our class because we don't have too much time. The salah is 9:45, so it gives us just about 40 to 50 minutes. Today we are learning the third chapter in the second book, which is a pretty easy topic. It's been introduced before, but we will go over it in a little bit more details today, inshallah. So we've learned in the past that in Arabic, everything has a gender, male, female, and everything also has a number. It could either be singular, it could be dual, it could be plural, it could be all of that as well. So today we're going to be learning different plural words and different plural patterns in the Arabic language. And so we have learned, for example, when we say man haula'i, right? Man haula'i al-fityatu at-tiwal ya Ali. So another thing we mentioned is that in Arabic, having a gender, non-gender. So let's go back. We learned that if we are pointing at a singular person, right? What do we say? We're pointing at a singular person or something masculine. What do we say? Hada. Very good. Hada is used for singular. Now, if I'm pointing at plural, what do I say? Okay. So now it will differ for 2-3 things. One is whether you're pointing at something near or far. The second thing is whether you're pointing at something with aql or something without aql. So meaning a human or non-human. Let's make it easy, right? Because you could tell a person you don't have aql, so I'm going to use something else for you, right? So let's just put it as human and non-human. So we've learned hada was for hada was for singular, near, and and for male, right? These were the three things for hada. Now we want to, and hada is used for both human and non-human. Let's put it that way. So both for human and non-human. Now, if I wanted to use now for, let's say, I wanted to change it and make it into a multiple things, not singular, but plural. If I want to change it to plural, and let's say it is, let's talk about plural male. Okay? So, pens, for example, or let's say books, or pens, or bottles, or anything, right? It is plural, right? And it is male, right? So what would I use for that? Dhalika was basically, the difference between hada and dhalika was for far, near, male. Otherwise it was still one. But we're using plural now. And we're using near. What would we use? Let's say I have a bunch of pens, right? And I want to point at it. What would I say to a bunch of pens?
Pens should be plural, not how.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah. How would I point at something and tell me, is pens human or not? No, right? So we have to use something non-human. Over here, non-human, and over here we're going to use human. Okay, plural, male, humans, non-humans. Okay? So, tell me, if I was pointing at a group of male students, what would I use? Versus if I was pointing at a group of, non-human objects, what would I use? Okay. What if I was pointing at something, the humans, a group of you guys, what would I say? Whom is a damir? It's a damir, a pronoun, but it's not a pointing tool. I'm talking about pointing tools. Pointing tools. So this is what we're learning right here. Hawlay. So for humans, we will use hawlay. So for a group of male, near, plurals, we will use hawlay. So this is male, plural, near. We will use hawlay. Understood? That's a pointing tool for that. Okay, now let's go back to the non-human though. What if we were talking about pens? What would you use? Okay, in Arabic, when a group of non-human things get together, it becomes from male to female. Right? So instead of hada, you'll use hazihi. So let's say pen. Is pen male or female? Qalam. Qalam is male or female? Male. But the plural of qalam is what? Aqlam. Pens. So if I was pointing at one pen, I wanted to say this is a pen. What do I say? How do I say this is a pen? Hada qalam, right? If I had multiple pens, what would I say? Hadihi, very good. Aqlam. Yeah. So one would be hada qalam. And a group of pens would be hadihi aqlam. Okay? If I was referring to Brother Faber and I want to say he's a student, what would I say? Hada talib. Very good. But if I was referring to all of these guys and I was saying these are students, what would I say? Ha'ulai tullab. Understood now? Tullab. Tullab is the plural of talib. Tullab is the plural of talib. Okay.
What is the rule here? Like qalam becomes aqlam, but talib becomes tullab. What is the rule?
So how do you make something like, some of these words you're going to realize there will be certain patterns, and some of them you just have to learn. Like, you just have to know that in order to make a plural of rajul, it's rijal. Qalam is aqlam, right? Miftah is mafatih. It's a whole different pattern. So some of them you will realize the different patterns for them, and some of them you'll realize you just, with practice, you'll just have to memorize the plurals for them. Okay, let me go over this again. If I was referring to one pen, I said this is a pen. What do I say? Very good. If I was having multiple pens, what would I say? Very good. If I was referring to one person, Faber, and saying he's a student, what do I say? Okay, if I was referring to all of you guys, I would say? هؤلاء طلاب. Very good. Alright? So, من هؤلاء الفتية. So, fitya, last time we learned fatat. This time we're learning the plural of fatat, meaning young men. So, who are these young men? Tiwal is tall. Who are these young, tall men, O Ali? That's why it's saying هؤلاء instead of هذا, because it's referring to all of these tall guys. Okay? So that's why I say هؤلاء الفتية يا علي. Okay? That's one. Okay. Whom? Now you can use the pronoun. In order to answer that, you will say, because you're talking about a group, you would say, now let's say if I was talking about one person, what would I say? If I was saying من هذا الرجل, who is this man? How would I answer that? هو أحسنت. هو طالب. But since I'm speaking to plural, I will say what? هم طلاب. And see, in Arabic, what changes is everything changes, right? So, for example, if you look at this right now, whom is the pronoun? The pronoun changed from huwa, right? And this is the word that we're talking about, the mubtada. So this becomes what? Talib. From talib it went to tulab. And this is judud, which is the description, the sifa. The sifa of talib, okay? This is judud. So the singular for this, if I was to say, is jadid. So from huwa talibun jadid, the sentence became hum tullabun judud. That makes sense? So every single component of the sentence, when it becomes plural, it changes. In this case, it went from huwa, which is singular, talib, which is singular, jadid, which is singular. It went to hum, which is plural, tullab, which is plural, judud, which is plural.
So it's the judud becomes instead of jadid, it's because of the mawsuf sifa.
Exactly. Because mawsuf sifa has to be the same in number. If the mawsuf is single, the sifa has to be single. Dual, it has to be dual. Plural, it has to be plural. Up to here, you guys understood?
Yeah.
طيب. Min aina hum? Where are they from? And you reply back with the same hum min America. Ahum zumala'uka? Zumala'uka is what? Can somebody explain this to me? Very good. So zamil is
Singular.
singular, and what does it mean?
Colleague.
Colleague. Colleague, classmate. So zamil is single, and then you have what attached to it to make it yours? Ka. Right? But if you're making a plural, you'll change to zubala. Ka. It becomes like that. Now, whom they are zumala'i. So this ka changes to ya because it changes from yours to mine. They're my friends. Whom they are fi fasli. They are in my class. Zumala'i is the plural of zamil, and zamil is a classmate. Okay. Ahum mujtahiduna. Are they? Whom is they? Mujtahiduna. What's mujtahiduna?
Hardworking.
Hardworking. So, what if I was to say, so this is where you guys are going to learn a lot of the plurals are in Arabic that are made. Not all of them, but a lot of them. The way they're made is by just adding the waw and the noon at the end. The waw and the noon is what makes it plural. So if I was to say single for Muslim, it's what? Single for Muslim is Muslim. And plural is Muslimuna. If I was to say kafir, single is kafir, plural is Kafiruna. If I was to say muhandis, which is a doctor, the plural would be muhandisuna. If I was to say mujtahid, the plural is mujtahiduna. So in order to make it from singular to plural, you will add a waw and a nun. So since we are talking about plural, it is ahum mujtahiduna. Let's say if we were to make this singular, whom would change to what? What would whom change to? We're trying to make this sentence into a singular sentence. Huwa. And mujtahidun would become mujtahid. Huwa mujtahid. That's it. Right? So from huwa mujtahidun, it became hum mujtahiduna. Understood here? Okay. Now over here, ma asma'uhum. What's ma asma'uhum? What are their names? So ma is what? Asma is what? The plural of ism. Ism, the plural of ism is asma. And then the whom over here comes right here. Okay? Asma'uhum, their names are Yasirun wa Zakariya wa Musa wa Abdullah. Okay, now you come here. Waman and who? Haulai. We just covered haulai. We're haulai. Rijal. What's rijal? Men. What's the singular of it? Rajul. Al-Qisar. What's Qisar? Short. So Qasir is short, and Qisar is the plural of Qasir. So since this is becoming the sifa of Rajul, it has to become plural likewise. Understood? وَمَنْ هَذَا الرَّجُلُ الْقَصِيرُ, or you could say وَمَنْ هَؤُلَاءِ الْقِصَارُ. Hum Hujjaj, they are the Hujjaj, the people who make Hajj. Ba'duhum. Okay, we are going to learn something today, which is another thing, which is Ba'd. Ba'd is what? Ba'd means some. Ba'd means some. And you're adding the whom, some of them. By Ba'duhum it becomes some of them. Min as-Sin, from China. Wa Ba'duhum, and some of them. Min al-Yaban, from Japan. Ayn al-Mustafa wa asdiqa'uhu. Asdiqa is the plural of Sadiq. And Sadiq is friend. ذهبوا إلى المطعم. They went to the mat'am. Okay. Okay. But this lesson is teaching you is how to change words from singular to plural, and is giving you a specific pattern. So anything that comes on the pattern of tajir, or haj, or rajul, or kabir, or saghir, or qasir, or tawil, right? Walad, ibn, all that. So it comes to tujjar, hujjaj, rijal, kibar, sigar, qisar, tiwal, awlad, abna, a'ma, shuyukh, duyuf, zumara. So all you're doing over here is you're going to change the hada to haulai. And you're going to change the talib to tullab. So similarly, you're going to change the hada here. It will become what? Haulai. And the tajir will become what? Tujjar. The hada here will become haulai. And the hajj will become hujjaj. The hada here will become jad. And the rajul will become rijal. Hada will become haulai. And kabir will become kibar. Same thing, this lesson goes on, the tamarin goes on. And then you go over here, like for example, mudarris, mudarrisuna, muhandis, muhandisuna, fallah, fallahuna, mujtahid, mujtahiduna, muslim, muslimuna. Okay, now the sentence is making you change the whole structure of the sentence from single to plural. We just did some of this practice ourselves, but now the author wants you to do it. So for example, min, aina, hada, al-talib. Everybody here should know what this means. From, where is this student? Now you want to change this, huwa min al-Hind. This is the answer, right? Question and answer all. He wants you to now change it to min will stay as min doesn't change. right? Any questioning tools will never change. Aina will stay as aina. Hada will change to what? Hawla. Talib will change to tullab. And now the answer min aina hawla tullab, and then huwa will become hum, and min will become min. It will stay. A harf jar will not change, and hind will become the place, the name of a place. Places don't change, so it will stay. Similarly, same thing. Aina al-tajir al-kabir huwa fi suq. So aina will stay. Tajir will become tujjar. Kabir will become kibar. Huwa will become hum. Fi will stay. Suq will stay. Aina will become, it will stay. Mudarris will become mudarrisuna. Al-jadid will become judud. Huwa will stay, Inda will stay, no, Huwa will change, Inda will stay, Mudir will stay. Aina here will become what? Stay as Aina. Talib will become Tullab. And Judud will become Jududu. And A will stay, Huwa will become Hu. You guys got the practice. طيب. Now over here, it's basically becoming Abna'u Muhammad and Abna'uhum. So all it's saying is that if the word here is singular, the pronoun will be singular. If the word here, the mudaf ilayh, is singular, the pronoun will stay as singular. Muhammad is singular or what? Singular, right? So therefore it says Abna'uhu. But let's say if this was plural, Abna'u Yasir wa Hamid wa Hudhaifa, then this who will become what? Abna'uhum. Very good. Okay, now let's go there. So Asma'u Tullabi would become, this is Asma, and this is Tullab. So it will become Asma'u Tullabi, right? Now if I wanted to change it to Asma'u, what would I add here? Tullab, the pronoun for Tullab is what? Hum. The pronoun for Hamid is what? Ka. The pronoun for Mudarris is who. Why? Because it's singular. Okay. Now it's making you practice pluralizing verbs. Do you guys remember the verb chart? And remember that the side all the way on the left was plural? That's all it's making you practice. So here, Talib is changed to Tullab, it's plural. Dhahaba is changed to Dhahabu. And Ila, harf jar always stays the same. And Matam is the name of a place, it will stay the same as well. Talib here will change to what? Tullab. Jalasa will change to Jalasu. Dhahabu. Jalasu. Fil Fasli will stay the same. Al-Mudarris will change to Al-Mudarrisuna. Kharaja will change to Kharaju min al-Madrasa. At-Tajir will change to what? At-Tujjar. And Dhahaba will change to Dhahabu, because we're talking plural. Ila Suq. Okay. At-Tullabu fil Fasli. Man ha'ilay al-awlad ahum abna'uka la abna'u ahi. All you're doing in this sentence is basically you're finding out the plurals. So the plural in the first sentence, at-tullabu fil fasli, is where? Tullab. In the second is hawlay, awlad, hum, abna, hum, abna. Similar. Hawlay, nas, hum, hujjaj. Third one. Tujjab, dhahabu. Next one. Hawlay, rijal, hum, duyuf. Next one. Al-Fallahu, Hukul, Abna. Next one. Al-Tullab, Al-Judud, hum, A'mam, Tujjar, Kibar. So you're just trying to figure out which ones are plural. Is that understood? Okay. Let's practice now. Each of you give me the plural of the following words. So the plural of kabir is kibar. Muslim is rajul is ibn is abna. Daif is duyuf. Fata is fityatun. Haj is akh is ikhwan. Saghir is tawil is tiwal. Ghani is aghniya. Faqir is fuqara. Very good. So again, most of these things again goes back to just memorizing, right? I could give you like break it down for you kind of, but you would have to do your own memorization and all of that in order to understand.
What's the plural for rich again?
Aghniya.
Aniya?
Aghniya. Am I right?
Oh,
Aghniya. Got it? Okay. Now it's just new words. Haqal means field, Nas is people, Qarya is village, Daif is guest, Sheikh is old man, or nowadays the context is rich man, old man, scholar, but usually is referred to old man.
What is that?
Daif is guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is
That's why I said Duyuf Rahman, the guests of Rahman.
Then what is the Arabic of weak?
That's Da'if. That's what I mean.
So Sheikh means old man?
Sheikh has multiple meaning, one of it isn't.
We call you Sheikh. I mean,
Yeah, I feel very honored. And then Mat'am and then Madrasa Ibtidaiya is basically elementary school. Points to remember here, in Arabic, when you're changing a plural, you're not just changing the noun, but you're going to change the adjective too. So if you say rajul and you change that to rijal, and you want to say tawil, you'll change that to tiwal. So both the adjective, like for example, if I want to say in English, right? What do you say? Like he has it over here. So let's say you want to say tall men, right? So which one, if you want to change tall men into plural sentence, plural word, what would it be?
these men are tall, or and
all
men.
men.
Tall men. From tall man to tall men, right? The tall stays the same. It doesn't change. In Arabic, it's not like that. The tall will change and the men will change. So men will become rijal and tawil will become tiwal. So that's the difference, right? And then there's two types of what's it called? Plural, broken and unbroken. I won't go into that right now because I don't want to overwhelm you. But just know for now, try to memorize the plurals that we have covered. For example, Muslim, Muslimun, Mudarris, Mudarrisun. And then anytime there's a ta marbuta, then it breaks, adds an alif there, and Muslimat and Muhandisat. These are broken plurals. It's just giving you a list of things like Nujum, Najam, and Najmun, Fu'ul, Kutub, Kitab, Fu'ul. It's just giving you different words, like different patterns. Here's what's it called? The list of the words that we learned today. And now you can see like the author is giving you both the plural and the singular. So Fatan is Fitya. Ism, Asma. Rajul, Rijal. Tiwal, Tawil, Tiwal. Talib, Tullab, Jadid, Julud. All of that. Okay. I will ask you guys now, because we learned about the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ today, that he would not give too much to the people where they would be bored. Should I go on to continue on, or should we leave the second portion to another day? Another day? That was quick. Because I know it's a lot, especially there's a lot of memorization now, right? Because all the different
The
verbs.
problem is when you say, well, sorry, I remember, but like if you ask us like out of the blue, I feel like I know it, but I can like feel it down, like
Yes, sir.
I have
Putting
to
together, it takes time.
It takes time. It takes a lot of practice, right? And that's fine. It's normal. It's normal.
But you know, that's the one thing when we are reading Quran, when we find like dua here,
Yeah.
then it's fun to like, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what it's saying.
Yeah.
So that at least that's thing we can like.
Yeah. And remember, I mean, we've had maybe like less than 20 classes so far. So if in less than 20 hours you could start to pinpoint different things in the Quran, I think it's an accomplishment. Just imagine, I mean, 20 hours is not even equivalent to 3 days of work. How many days of work have we done? Right? Like when you go to whatever job, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're a lawyer, you're a businessman. I mean, every single day you spend at least 8 hours. So if you were to spend even like 8 hours learning, and then 1 week or 1 month goes by and you have like a 40-hour week, let's say. So if you were to do 1 week worth of actual study, which means 40 hours, you would understand a decent amount of the Quran. Inshallah, we'll stay consistent. I know the group is getting smaller and smaller, but let's see when we're gonna keep going. Inshallah. Should I do anything?
Did you stop recording the classes?
Well, I don't record the classes myself. Usually it's one of the volunteers from the men's side. They'll send it to me and I'll share it. So has previously been recorded? I think they've been recorded, maybe they just haven't maybe been updated or whatever.
Last week's was not.
Sorry?
Last week's lesson was not.
Last week was it?
It's on the iPad. I have it there.
Yeah,
You guys send it.